There we go. Any of the trades that were placed today, this is not investment advice in any fashion. It's just for example purposes. So let's go into our navigation. And when you first open up the app, again, you might be asked about Touch ID. I'll cover that a little bit later when we go into Q&A. But you'll see quite a lot going on your screen. You're seeing a left side panel there. You're seeing a lot of information in the middle. Maybe if you don't have any positions, your page here in the middle is actually blank. But if we kind of train our eyes to the left side of the screen here, and I'll get my drawing tools too, so it's a little bit easier to see, but this left-hand watch list. So this is something that you can have up on your iPad if you want, or you can remove it. Again, it's just really nice for as you're clicking through a set of symbols that you really like to trade, or maybe you could open up your watch list of your positions too if you want to scroll through symbols that way. But if you wanted to expand that, all you got to do is just click on this arrow right here, and that will open up our watch list tab. Let's get rid of the drawings there. And once you're in this window, you can go to the top here and pull up the drop down, pull up all of our curated watch lists. I was talking about the positions watch list earlier. Those are just symbols with open positions on in your account. Or personally, I really like liquidity, high options volume. Maybe if you're looking for sectors, you could go sector based and go, oh, I want to see symbols that are in technology. You pull up a list of symbols there. Within your watch list, you're going to see a few different columns, bid, ask, change. All of these are fully customizable. You could either do it by clicking on the settings icon in the bottom left here. So if we tap on that, and then get taken to our settings and then tap on watch list right there. Get rid of those. And this is where we can edit our watch list column. So we saw bid and ask there, but maybe if you want to get rid of those, you can click on the red buttons right here, get rid of off your watch list. And maybe we want to add upcoming earnings dates potentially, or IV rank as well to our watch list. We can tap on the plus signs on the right side. Once you're ahead and done with that, you can go back to the app here. And now you can see the columns here. Maybe I actually updated that on one of our different watch lists. Let's go back. Interesting. Oop, that change. Add that in. Should save. There we go. Oh, well, okay. It's getting a little buggy here on my side, but that's how you can edit your columns. It should work on your guys' side. My iPad is having a little finicky stuff here. But so you can update your watch list. You can also see recent symbols. In this case, we just close it out, clicking on this left side here. So this left side panel, if you click in the top left, that is going to collapse that window. And then we can see the bid there. Maybe you want to change it to change in price. Or if you want to get rid of that watch list entirely and just see the middle of the platform, there's this button in the top right. If you tap on that, now it gets rid of it. If you tap on that again, it's going to pull up your watch list, or you can get it off. So kind of tailor it towards the screen that you want to see there. So that was our watch list tab on the left. While you're in the watch list too, I like to mention is that if we expand it out, you can actually get into a little bit more details. So you guys might have not seen this off the bat, but once you do have your watch list open, if you click, or not click, but tap on a symbol here. So I tapped on AMAT. You see this arrow right here? If you then go and tap on that arrow, you're taken to the position or this symbol overview. So the symbol overview, you're going to see any active working orders, maybe positions that you have open. Right now, we don't have anything open in AMAT, but you're also going to see quote detail. So a little chart of AMAT and some applicable information, market cap, highs, lows, volume, dividends coming up, and the amount of payments. Just kind of some granular information on the underlying. We also have the order chains tab. I'll show you guys this again in a second. And then just like applicable news on the symbol. So there was no news for that, but maybe we get, let's see, GPN. We got anything from that? Yep, got some news coming up. You could tap on any of these to populate any applicable news articles. So that's our little symbol overview. It's a little hidden in that watch list there, so you might have not seen it off the bat, but you can, again, collapse it by just clicking on that arrow. So cool. That's our left side bar. Now let's go ahead and get into some trades. So right now it is 3:39 Central. So we're in the extended hour session, which is 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Central. We can buy some stock or futures right now if we wanted to. If we tried placing an options trade, we'd get a reject, or at least it would tell us that the market is closed. So if we do want to trade some options, we can at least place some working orders. But I saw someone saying earlier, hey, how do I place a stock order? Well, there's a couple different ways you can do it, but off the bat, and kind of my personal favorite here is that when you do have your watch list open or you're in any other tab and you click on the ask price. So you see this column right here. Let's get the drawing tools. This column right here. Ask is for buying, bid is for selling. If you tap on any of these ask prices, so like GPN, if we tapped on 115.30 cents, that will in turn, you might have seen some updating in the background, close that out, is going to queue up a stock order at the bottom of our screen. So anywhere on the platform, either in the simple overviews, in your watch list, you see bid and ask, you click on the ask price, that's going to queue up a order to buy that underlying. You click on the bid, it's an order to sell. So in that case, we clicked on the ask, and now we have an order to buy 1 share of GPN. We can see that in our order ticket here, that we're buying 1 share there. We got a quantity of 1 at the bottom and some more information about what kind of order ticket we can send, our time in force. In this case, for sending an extended hours order, we need to change that to EXT. So we can tap and change that to EXT to do extended. And then if we wanted to change our price, so right now, looks like GPN is trading bids at 12.90, ask is at 115.30, so a little bit wide on this guy in the after hour. Maybe let's put something a little bit tighter. Maybe DSM, let's do that. Look at TSM, it looks like, yeah, we got quite a bit nice tighter spread here on the bid and ask. If we did want to queue up that order again, we had it at our bottom of our screen. The ask button here as well, we could tap on ask. And now you see at the bottom of our screen, we have that stock order ticket. So that's one way to queue up a stock order. And once you're ready to send, you can change it to EXT. Maybe we will tap up the price a little bit here with our, drawing tool there, but we could tap up the price with here, or we could tap and type in a price too if we really wanted to. But I'm just going to tap my finger on the plus sign, increase the price, and go ahead and review and send. Double check. I actually got the wrong account selected here. Let's change that up. So good example here, actually. If you queue up an order and you got an account that you don't want to place the trade in, you can quickly go down here to accounts all. Show this a little bit later, but you see these T-shield buttons? That's where you can select your default account that you're placing a trade in. In this case, we want to just quickly trade that to our purple account where we want to place the trades. So we double tapped on the T-shield, and now if we go to review, send order, we can send it off and get filled. So we have that working order, and we can see in the bottom left that it got filled. Great. Now that we've opened our order, what can we do with it? Well, we can go to our chart tab. It's really nice. Pull up a chart on TSM, and we can see that cost basis, that position we just opened. See that 1 share bought at 86.99. If we went back to maybe our positions tab as well, tap on positions, and you're going to see that share in TSM that we just bought in our positions tab too. I saw Curtis asking, hey, how do you get that keyboard to go up? I'll show you in just a second. Go back to trade, tap on our ask price at the top. If you just tap your finger on the actual price itself, that's going to get the keyboard open for you. So just tap on the 86.99 or whatever price is listed there, and then you'll get that keyboard. You can type in a new price if you want. The same applies to as well with the quantity here at the bottom. So just to show you, I was tapping on the price right here, but if I wanted to adjust quantity with the keyboard, you can tap on the 1 right there, and then let me just get rid of those drawings. Tap on the 1, maybe we want to buy 10 shares. You can type that in, press return, and now you can see our quantity is updated to 10. So hopefully that answers your question, Curtis. Good question. Gotcha. Good question, George. We'll go over options in just a second. So now that we've opened up our stock order, we've kind of looked around, viewed it on our chart, saw it in our positions tab. Real quick, how do I close or place a closing order on stock once I feel like I want to maybe take my profit or stop my loss, something along those lines? Well, again, a couple ways you could do it. The easiest way is navigating to the positions tab where we can find all of our open positions. We see that share in TSM. This is something that definitely listen up here. This is a very important functionality to know for the iPad platform here. When you're selecting something or trying to get this quick action menu to pop up, you need to make sure that you're tapping and holding. Normally, when you're on the desktop or web platform, you left click, but with an iPad, you tap. There's no distinction between a left click and a right click. So that's where when you're going to close the share, maybe select to make an adjustment to this position, you will place your finger over it, tap and hold, and now you can see the quick action menu appear to either maybe place a bracket order on this position, maybe place a closing order position, or in this case, show the order change too. But we just want to close the position. We can tap on close position. We see our closing order ticket at the bottom. We got a sell order for selling one share. You can actually see our profit or loss on this. We're going to lose 4 cents. Looks like I'm definitely getting fired today. But great. So then once you have set up your order, again, we can maybe tick it down a little bit just to get filled. Change our TIF to EXT, review, send it off. Now we are working and filled to close that order. We go to our positions tab. We see that that share got closed. Good stuff. You can also go to our activity tab real quick and check out those orders that we had just placed on TSM, where we bought, where we sold. And even then, once you're in here, you could go to the history tab next. If you want to reconcile this later, tapping on this history tab icon, you can see that trade in TSM we had placed. Tapping on both of these. Oops. Off my screen. There we go. But tapping on both of these orders here, the buy and closing order, now you can see in this top row, it's going to total all the transactions we just selected. So in this case, we lost about 4 cents on that trade. It was a day trade because we opened and closed on the same day. But then we also paid a little bit in pass-through fees too. So good stuff. Nice. That was our stock order. Next, let's go ahead and hop into an options trade, or what you guys were mainly asking for there. And just real quick, I see a couple questions of, hey, how do I change the symbol? If you wanted to change the symbol either on your chart tab or your trade tab here, you see at the top of the platform, if you tap your finger over, so let me go back real quick. That was a little quick. But you see TSM up here, or the name of the company, or maybe futures, or share that you're looking to trade, or options that you're looking to place a trade on. Just tap your finger at the top there, and then it's going to pull up the symbol search on this left-hand side, where you can either type in the company's name full, and it'll show you all the symbols with applicable with similar names or that have those words in the name. So maybe if we wanted to buy a share of Costco or something like that, we could type out the entire name Costco, or just COST, and tap on that in our left-hand search. And now we can see Costco is our active symbol. Once we do that as well, this options chain below is for Costco. So if we were to go back and, again, we were on TSM, it's in our recent search too. So if we tapped on TSM on the left, now TSM is our active symbol at the top, and this is the options chain for TSM. So the options that are appearing in the middle of our platform here are based on this active symbol at the top. So same goes, it's like, you're looking at TSM, maybe you want to go to the chart and check it out right before you place a trade. You can check out the chart. You can see, oh, chart on TSM, nice. Or maybe you want to check out some research on TSM. You can press on the research tab and check out some news and stuff like that. That's why the active symbol is really nice, is that, as you're going through a lot of these different tabs or looking for information, you don't have to keep searching that symbol over and over again. And in turn, the watch list pairs really nicely, where imagine you are on the trade tab, you like trading TSM, but you also maybe like trading Let's check it out here. Let's go into some like high options volume on the watch list. But think, maybe you want to trade Google. Well, all you got to do is just tap on Google in your watch list on the left. And now Google is the active symbol. And we're looking at the trade table for Google. Or SoFi, we could tap on SoFi. And now that is here at the bottom. Dirk, I see you're saying I don't have the research tab at the bottom. You might be on one of our older versions. I'll double check in your app store if you have updated to 3.12.0. Otherwise, we can check the settings a little bit later too. Yep, so we have those available and the active symbols working like that. So let's go back. Maybe we want to, trade that TSM trade again. Why not? Or actually, I don't know. Let's stick it with SoFi. SoFi seems interesting. So once you have the active symbol ready, you can pull up the trade mode. So the window we're in right now, this trade tab, you can tap on that at the bottom of your screen. And then by default, you're going to be taken to table mode. So this is kind of my favorite when placing options trades starting here, but you can start in some other modes. So we have trade mode, table. We have some other trading modes as well. I was trying to click on my screen, so the iPad there, but we have some other available modes like curve mode. We also have crypto trading mode. Don't have it enabled in this account right now, so you're not seeing anything. And then we also have a grid trading mode for placing stock trades. I'll show you guys this a little bit later. But for right now, let's just go back into the table mode. So that was trade table. Now that we're here, we're going to see the options change. So maybe for example purposes, we're looking to place, I don't know, Iron Condor or something like that. There's a couple ways you can do it. First, you can either open up the options chain. In this case, maybe we want to place a trade that's 43 days out. We can see here in the middle of our screen where strikes would be listed is the days until expiration. So October 6th in this case right here is 1 day until expiration. October 13th is in 8 days, yada, yada, yada. So if you have a set certain kind of days until expiration you like to select, you can quickly look here and go, oh yeah, I want the 43 days until expiration, or 43D. That's the chain I want to trade. In that case, you can just tap on that drop down. So I tapped on November 17, 2023, and now I'm going to see all of the strikes available to trade for this underlying. We're also going to see quite a lot of different information. So mainly, we're seeing the bid and ask here on the left and right. So this is the pricing for the calls. This is going to be pricing for the puts on SoFi for this expiration. And then to the right and left of that, we have some more columns with some more information. We got volume and we got Vega. That's also showing up on our right side too. So that bid and ask, since that's where we're actually going to be queuing up orders, kind of like we did for stock, it's always going to be there. You can't edit them out, but those two columns on the left and right, just so you guys know, you can tap on the top here. Maybe if you want to, instead of Vega, you want to see open interest. You want to see, hey, how many contracts are currently being held open on each of these strikes, or volume, how many transactions are going on for this strike for today. Same goes with, you can tap on the top there and change and check out delta and theta, or delta and delta, or delta and theta, and that will adjust the right side too. So you can customize the trade tab to show the information you want there on the left and right. Even then, I'm pretty sure, hopefully this doesn't mess up the stream too much, but you can go horizontal as well. I'm sure in post edits, I'm going to hate myself for that, but let's go back to portrait. Once you're in here, you can set up a trade either by just tapping on the bid and ask. So if we were selling a call, we click on the bid side for the calls. If we're buying a call, we're tapping on the ask price on the call side. Same goes with the puts. So in this case, maybe if we're looking at setting up a little spread here on the 8 strike here and 9 here too. So we can look at these strikes and we see the bid prices here. So the bid for the 8 is 0.65. The bid for the 9 is 0.35. Ask 0.66. Ask for the 9, 0.36. So if I wanted to buy the $8 strike there for this expiration, I can click or tap, on the 8 or the 0.66 right there for the ask price. Now you can see I have a buy order queued up to buy one option for that strike. And then I can also tap on the bid price below on the 9 striker, that's 0.35. Of course, the drawing's not going to line, but you have 0.35 there, and you can see we're selling that leg too. What's really great about the updates that we've made to this window is that while you're within this trade ticket, either at table mode or curve mode, you're going to get some actionable information. First, in the top right, you're going to see the implied volatility for this options expiration. You're also going to see the expected move. So this expected move is that 1.26 number that I just pointed an arrow to in the top right. That's displayed as this orange highlight here on our trade tab. So 1.26 up and down from the last price is the expected move, or kind of, hey, for the next 43 days, what's the, based on the statistical options pricing model, what is the expected move or one standard deviation move potentially for this expiration? That is displayed by those orange highlights. So maybe when you're setting up a trade, you're thinking, oh, I kind of want to place this right near, oops, we can tap, hold and drag, or oops, sorry, delete that leg, but you can tap and drag to move the legs around. So tap my finger down, moving it up and down, and then letting go. So we can make our trade wider, or we could scoot them both down a little bit. Oops. Scoot them down there. And we can see, oh yeah, I kind of want to set my strategy here right at the top of the expected move or around there. And then while you're doing that, you can also see your profit or loss zones are updating in real time. So you see this red zone, that's if SoFi were to expire at a price of, say, $7, we'd be at a loss on this trade at expiration. Same goes. If SoFi were to expire at a price of about 10, maybe 10 and a half or higher, we're going to have a profit on this trade at expiration. So as you're setting up your trade, you're moving around your legs, you see these green and red zones updating in real time. Maybe you're adding in some additional legs as well, buying that, selling that. And we can see here that trade update in real time. Drag it out, see those profit loss zones update. So nice. And then also, once you do have your trade set up, you can even get a more granular, kind of a different view of those profit or loss zones by going up here, back to our trade mode or table mode here at the top. We got our leg selected. We go table, and then we can tap on curve. Just tap on curve there. Now we kind of have our horizontal view of this window here. And maybe if I went into this mode here, it looks like it's a little wide, but you can drag kind of that same that we were doing there earlier. Is you can drag left and right to adjust the trade. You're seeing the expected move in the middle of the window. Let me just go full screen here. Yeah, the watch list are taking up all my space. But you can drag, kind of adjust your order as you see fit here based on your metrics or your profit or loss zone, break-even points. And then two here at the bottom of our screen. Let me get rid of these drawings for a second. Boop. At our bottom of our screen too, we're going to see the applicable Greeks, probability of profit for the trade. We're going to see our max loss, max profit too, all right there within our order ticket. And even then, something I just tapped on right there, I'll show you guys, is the, sorry, I got my Zoom boxes here blocking my screen. Landscape mode. But if you go over here to the right side, there's this little arrow right here. If you tap on that, it's going to give you more space, and you can still see the metrics for your trade, the max profit, max loss. It will make it a lot easier to navigate around. So probably should have clicked that off the bat, but now we all know. So you just got to tap on that, get a little more space, or maybe you want to go back to table mode. You can go trade mode in the top left, tap on table. Now we're back in the table mode too, with more space. We then are good with our ticket. We're liking the trade. We can click on the up arrow here. And we can see we got 4 legs in our trade right now. Once we do get it set up, we can enter in a different limit price if we wanted to. So this is something really important, especially for those of you guys trading option spreads. And let me just go portrait mode for this for a second, because it's a little hard to hold. But once you do have your trade queued up, you see this area right here underneath your order price. this is kind of essentially the market for this spread, is that you're probably the NAT price here on the right or far right. This is the more likely point at where you're going to get a fill. We have the mid price too, with which the platform might default to. So you see our limit price was 0.32 is based on that default mid price. But then even on the low side of the range, it's 0.31. So really, all these numbers here at the bottom is just a culmination of the addition of all the different bid and asks for the legs that we have selected for our trade, and then kind of showing you, hey, from the top side, what is kind of the likely best fill you could get, and also from the bottom side, where if you're paying a little bit more in this case, are you more likely to get filled or than that price? So, if we do place this order and we do place it at 0.32, and we see that it might not be filling right away, or we might need to step it up a little bit as we're replacing the order. I'll show you guys that in just a second. We might want to place closer to 0.35. So, Curtis, I see you're asking, how do you see analysis? Good question. We don't have the analysis mode in specific on the iPad app, but that is coming up in one of our next releases. It should be out hopefully by the end of the year here. But that is something definitely that's been ticketed up. So we got table, we got curve, and then next up is analysis. So good question, my friend. And then Dennis, I see, is this recorded? Got here a little late. Yep, we post a recording to our YouTube channel shortly after. So thanks, Pete. Awesome. So we were talking about the order price that we want to enter. In this case, let's just place it at the mid, which is 0.32. We could up it down with the arrows right here, left and right, so the minus and plus. Or someone was asking earlier, how do you pull up the keyboard? You just tap on this box here and it'll pull up your keyboard. But let's just do 0.32 like we had it earlier. Type in 0.32 and we can check out, hey, what is the max profit? Most I can make 168, most I could lose $32. In this case, it's a long spread. So how much am I losing approximately daily due to time decay? Also delta, hey, what kind of directional bias do I have? Is it slightly bearish? Is it slightly bullish? In this case, got some negative delta, so it's slightly bearish, but relatively delta neutral. And then some more applicable figures, even buying power effect. Hey, how much cash needs to be sold to hot or set aside? I'm losing my voice here. Set aside to keep that position open. So all great information there. Once ready, we can tap on review and send. And market's closed right now for options, but we can send off the order and it'll start working the next section. We can send that off. And now we have that iron condor working, or reverse iron condor working. You can see your working legs there. We could either tap on those working legs. So actually just put my finger over this yellow W and held it for a second, and you could tap to replace the trade there. So when I tap on replace, then it's going to open up a order ticket here where I could go back. Maybe it didn't get filled right away, and I would just want to, get this open as soon as possible. So maybe I'll pay about $2 extra, or 2 cents times 100. So we'll do 0.34, review, sender off. And now we have a new working, or our past working order got canceled. And then our new working order is live. Great. And then you can edit from the trade tab here if you really wanted to, or also I was showing you guys earlier the positions and activity tab. These two guys here at the bottom, if we tap on positions, we can see the working order in SoFi right here in our positions tab. And then if you tap and hold again, so similar to what we were doing earlier, if you tap and hold, that's going to open up that window. If you just tap, it's not going to do anything. Tapping will just make you go crazy. You got to tap, keep your finger down, hold it. It's going to do like a little push animation there. And then you'll have the quick action menu to either replace at a different order price. Maybe we just want to cancel entirely. We could tap on cancel. And now our order is canceled. Great. That was our little options order there. Hope that helped to answer some of your guys' questions in terms of setting up the trade. I'd like to just show you guys too, if you are new to the platform, or at least setting up trades by clicking on the bid and ask, it is very nice to use the strategy selector tool here at the top. So if we did want to set up maybe a ratio spread, or a Jade Lizard or something along those lines, maybe just a ratio spread in this case. We could do a long or short call ratio spread. You just tap on these buttons here. They're actually buttons, might not look like it, but if you tap on call or short, that's toggling between long and short and call and put. So if we're good with that short call, we can then tap on this arrow right here on the right. And now we have a ratio spread set up. Now, it might not look like it off the bat, but if you look closely, you see B1S2, that's buying one contract, selling two. And also in our bottom of our screen here, you can see the buy to open order has one contract. The sell to open order has two contracts. So that's our 2-to-1 ratio spread. Good stuff. So strategy selector is super, super nice. Saves you time. And then I saw Joshua, how do you do one tap trading? So as of right now, the equivalent to that is the desktop platform. I saw Pete tossing the message there is that we do have a safety mode on desktop where you turn off safety mode, you can tap or essentially click on the bid or ask and it automatically sends off an order right away. That's something that we're looking at adding onto our iPad platform. But in particular, I think the closest you're going to get to that, and if you're talking about options, for the most part, you're always going to have that review and send page. But if you're talking about stock or futures potentially too, something that we can go into is the grid mode. So if you tap on grid mode there, well, let's just search for another symbol as well. Just tapping on this little search bar at the top to pull up a chart. And then once you're in here, you can essentially set the order type here to market. And then based on where you drag, so if you click on then this little icon up here, this little cursor, one's right over here too. Once you tap on that and it's highlighted, Curtis, you're saying you don't have grid mode either. I think, what's going on there? You guys might need to update your apps. That's what I'm thinking. So I'll show you guys in the settings where you can double check your app version, but you guys might need to update if you're not seeing that right now. That was in our latest version. But if you click on this little arrow here at the top or cross here, then once you do, you can tap and hold your finger to kind of adjust based on your chart or your drawings where you want to enter a price. Or in this case, that's for setting up a limit price if you want, or with just a market order. And you want to buy to open, say just one share, you're in this window, you're like, okay, cool. I'm watching maybe a minute chart, watching some price movement here, get rid of the cross here, looking at some price movement, thinking, okay, I want to go ahead and buy. All you got to do is you have the market order set up right here, get buy to open, just review, send order. Oh, we'll see. We're in the extended hours session anyway, so it's not going to work. For extended hours, you have to set it as a limit order. But if this was the normal market session, so say this was 8:30 Central or 8:31 Central time in the morning, or 2:59 earlier, and you did set it to market and just shipped it off, you wouldn't run into any issues. You can't send market orders in the extended hours session due to the potential for some huge slippage. But Dennis, thanks for confirming. Yeah, Dirk and Curtis, I think you guys might need to update your apps, my friends. I'll show you guys where you can double check that. So if you do want to check the version of your app, you can click on settings here, the top right. And then in application here at the top, so I tapped on that guy right there. You can check out right here. So you should be on version 3.12.0. Just double check that you are in fact on that version. That's probably the main reason why you might not be seeing these screens. Awesome. Hopefully, I believe too. Yeah, you're on 3.11.0. Gotcha. 3.11.1. Yep, makes sense. Makes sense. So yeah, go ahead and when you do have a chance, go to the Apple Store. So this is actually a release that we just pushed out Tuesday. So go to the Apple Store when you guys get a chance and update your app to 3.12.0. You should see all these new features and tabs and grid mode and such. Can you do OCO futures orders on iPad like desktop? Yes, good question, my friend. So, and this is probably something else a lot of you might be curious about is on desktop and partially on the web platform right now. or at least on desktop, you can place bracket orders on outright stock, ETFs, futures, and then also options on stock, ETFs, and equities, but also options on futures too. So you can place brackets on essentially everything on the desktop platform, but for right now, the iPad app is limited to brackets on single-legged options and outright stocks, ETFs, and futures. So you won't be able to place brackets on option spreads as of right now on the iPad app. But to answer your question there, Dennis, yes, you can. So let me show you real quick. If we go to our, let's just, for example, go to trade here. Let's go into table mode. And let's search for some futures. So if we wanted to, actually, I'm going to just expand the left side panel here. Put up our watch list. If you're a futures trader, definitely suggest check out the futures watch list, futures all. See all of our different products. Just added in RBOB futures and Nat Gas too. So that's nice. But we have all of our futures now there. And maybe if we want to do a trade on MES, we could pull that up. And then once you tap on the bid and ask here at the top, or you could go through grid mode too if you really wanted to, but you can click on the ask there. And what time is it? 4:10. Ugh. Can't open a new position. Crumb. But in short, you can place an OT OCO. So that's the opening order here on the left side. So our opening point, since we haven't opened a new position yet, and then also the close at profit point and stop loss point too, all in one order. So once that first order is filled, then the next two start working. But you're asking about OCO in particular on an already open position. The equivalent would be, and this is the same exact functionality as if it was a futures position on the positions tab. But if you tap and hold your finger, so again, tapping on forward and holding my finger, see this bracket button, tap on bracket, and now you have your OCO order. So if I had a futures position open, the market's closed for futures. We got a little past the time there to show it, but it's the same exact functionality. You find it in your positions tab or maybe through grid mode. If you already have a position open, and you should see that bracket order button to place a close at profit and stop loss at the same time. So hope that answers your question, my friend. Awesome. Awesome. Good stuff. Glad to hear. Kevin, question on chart settings. Good question there, my friend. In terms of saving the charts, if you are running into issues along those lines, or at least if you run into it again, shoot us an email to tech@tastytrade.com and we can try running through some fixes in particular. It's kind of a case-by-case basis depending on what device you're using, but there are some potential fixes. In any case, if it is a underlying issue, we'll make sure to get it ticketed up. So I'll at least I'll make sure to reach out to our iOS devs a little bit later today and see if that was something that they were aware of or at least working on right now. And if not, then I'll get them looking at it and try and replicate on my side. So sorry for the issues on that, Kevin, in the meantime, but we'll definitely be looking into the chart settings, saving and drawings and all that. So apologies for the issues if you are having them. But cool. I think that's essentially, we've gone over a lot of the stuff that we had here. Some of you guys might have seen earlier, we had the research tab where you can check out, different ratios on a company. You can see analyst forecasts too. So I was clicking on research down here, and then there's this little drop down here at the top. But yeah, you can check out news, financials, ratios, forecasts, and even an about section as well. Just a description. Really love this financial summary section. I use this all the time. Checking out a kind of past 2 quarters or something, little brief breakdown on what the company has been doing. So Dennis, how do you switch between accounts? I got you. I can go over it again. No worries. So if you do want to switch between accounts, and this is something that I actually didn't show you guys yet, or just kind of check out your account balances in general, there is an area at the top of the platform which shows you the account that you have selected and options buying power, P&L day, net lick, values like that. But if you want to switch between them, go to the bottom right corner, tap on that, and then you can tap to select certain accounts. Let's see if that puts both. Yeah, it does put both of them out there. But if you double tap, see that T shield there? This guy right there. If you double tap or tap on that button right there, now you see at the top of our platform is this pink account. So we just switch from the purple to the pink. All you got to do is just double tap. So that T Shield is setting up the default account to place a trade in. So next time you go to queue up an order, it's going to default to whatever account has that T Shield selected. But if you're familiar with the desktop web platform, same exact thing. Very, very similar where you're going to see that T Shield. You can select between them. So ran into it earlier in the demo. You'll see, again, in that order confirm screen too, just to show you guys an example. If you were to go into an order ticket, go on ready, there is the ability to, while you're in the order ticket, you got a trade queued up and you want to switch that to a different account, you can quickly tap between them and switch which account you're placing a trade in. Hopefully that answers your question. Awesome. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Let's see. Any other questions? Mike, I've noticed 2 devices, different P&L numbers. Good question. Now, if you're going between iPad, iPhone, PC, and you're seeing different numbers, it probably means that one of your platforms might have a stale session. I would highly suggest, and even then, like kind of doing the double tap on the home button or whatever, scrolling up, closing out that app works pretty nice. But additionally, clicking on the settings gear icon and go into application. Actually, where is it here? Where's it? Button. Here we go. So if you go to the bottom right of the platform again, this guy right here, tap on that. And again, it might be a little bit annoying, but it will stop some discrepancies or at least refresh the app quite consistently if you sign out, sign back in, either on any of your platforms. But again, I would say usually when we see that, it's case by case basis. It could be some stale data. It could be, the platform cache is a little full if you've had the desktop platform open for a while, web too. Definitely suggest reach out to us at tech@tastytrade.com, or as well, you can reach out to us on the phone, 888-247-1963, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central. If you click extension 3 when you call in, you'll get taken to our tech team. They're very happy to walk through any solutions, kind of talk through what might be causing this. Definitely just getting the more personal background information can help clear up and get some fixes, because there are some individual fixes for certain things. It's just kind of hard to diagnose without background information or what devices, types and versions, yada, yada, yada. So cool. Hope that helps, Mike. Sorry if I couldn't answer that better. But yeah, just reach out to us if you can. Joshua, if you can't bracket problem, what's some options? So you can place a bracket on single leg options. So for example, if you go to buy a call, see in the bottom here, there is that bracket button. So if you have a single legged option, you can place a bracket on it. Either it be an opening bracket order, OTOCO, or if you do have a single leg. So in this case, we had a spread on Ford here in our account. If we wanted to close, imagine that this long put was by itself, you could tap hold. You got this quick action menu, and then you can go to bracket here. Tap on bracket. Check it out. Nice. So that's where you could go and place an OCO. Cool. How can you quickly delete a complete IC? Gotcha, Dirk. So if you're saying like in terms of like when you're setting up the trade within your trade tab, I'll show you real quick. So let's go ahead. Let's just use our little strategy selector tool, save it some time. So we got our iron condor. If you wanted to get this, you're like, I hate this trade. What was I thinking? I've done that plenty of times. All you got to do is just click on this clear button right here. You should have a clear button, Dirk, no matter what the version. Otherwise, we'd be in quite a bit of a pickle here. But yeah, there you go, my friend. No worries. I think that covers it. How do I see total account value, Kevin? Good question. So right now I am in privacy mode, so it is hiding right here, but you should in the top of the platform see your net lick. So that netlick is the account value if you were to close all positions in your account at the current mid price. So it's an estimation of, hey, if you were to close everything out, how much cash are you going to have in the account? So you can check it out there, or in the bottom right too, you can tap on that and check out all your different account balances. You can see, hey, how have I been doing for the day? How we've been doing for the year? Not too hot, not too hot. We can see today's trades, the day trade counter as well. It looks like I just put ourselves in PDT actually. So fantastic. That was a mistake on my end. Fantastic. So if you place more than 3 or more day trades in a account, or actually we are over 25K, so we're good. Got close. Again, playing a fine line here, but yeah, you can scroll left and right and kind of check out these applicable infos or balances. Even then, if you tap on this balances button right here, that's just going to give you more granular information on your account in terms of, hey, how much cash do I have, maintenance excess. You can see how much how much of my account is in long equities, how much is in long derivatives or short derivatives. What's my day trade buying power, that kind of jazz. So all that stuff in the bottom right. Awesome. Okay, cool. Anything else off the top of your heads, or are we good? Looks like we might have wrapped it up pretty nice. And we're kind of going on a little bit long here, but okay, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for attending. Curtis, you're seeing where to download the app. If you go to the App Store or the Apple Store and just type in tastytrade, you should see the app there. I think Peter might be able to toss in a link. If you go to the technology page, there should be like near the bottom a link to iOS. So if you want to toss the technology page in there, you know what? Let's see if I can just screen share my my web browser for you guys just to show you. Let's go. Let's hide my bookmark so I don't dox myself for the uptime time. Okay, looks like it doesn't want to do it anyways. Sensation. There we go. Went away. So let's see. Okay. Boom. Okay, you guys should see my my browser now. So if you go here on our main website, and then you go to platforms, our technology. So you could do this on your iPad if you really wanted to. Honestly, it's like try and find the App Store app on your phone. But if you go down here near the bottom of the page and go get for iOS, that should take you straight to the App Store page. So if you're having trouble finding it, give that a go. But awesome. I think that covers it. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending. Please feel free to reach out to us. support@tastytrade.com. Again, the number 888-247-1963. If you're looking for our contact information down the line, you can type in contact or contact us, and you're going to find the information here. We are not afraid to talk. We want to make sure you guys are feeling comfortable on the platform. Money's flying. So you want to feel confident, feel good, make some money. So awesome. Well, there will be a recording posted to YouTube very, very soon. Big shout out to Pete, Jolie, and Alex for answering chat and QA. Everyone, a little round of applause for Pete. I saw quite a lot of answers there. Thank you, my friend. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one.